Just going for a little walk in our neighborhood. The big man, Dashiell Buffy Chandra. Dashiell Chandra Buffy, sorry. Got that name wrong. We haven't done a video in a while, Dash. Oh, I'll lift you up a bit. Are you comfy that way? Your legs seem like they're not comfy for you. You want to reach for the camera. Reach for the camera. Hey. 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 What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about these wars that are going on. And I'm hoping by the end of the conversation, we will save millions of lives. I say that with a touch of irony, but it's not something that's supposed to be funny. So, seeing little Dash, grow up, this little man, this little baby, then to grow up, and then to be a parent, and then just when they're getting out of their home into the world, when they're 18, 20, 21, they get sent to a war, in World War I, World War II, and then to have them die would leave a gaping hole in your life that would never be healed. This anger, this upset, this loss. And you can just imagine like a whole generation of people losing, hundreds and thousands of their children and never to see their children grow up and see their potential and see and become everything, and just have this hole where you're constantly searching. I guess we as the people should stop. We're like the pawns, right? We're the people. And then the kings, which are our politicians, make decisions on our behalf. If the pawns stop playing, the politicians would have to change their game. Because we as the pawns, we don't want to fight each other. Australians don't want to fight the Chinese. The Chinese don't want to fight the Filipinos. The Chinese don't want to fight the Americans. The people don't want to fight. It's the leadership that throws us into these situations where it feels like the storyline is so good that we need to fight. Yeah. Like, the people are all friendly to each other in every single way. The Russians, the Europeans, no one wants to hurt each other. So, like if you look at 30 years ago when the Chinese started manufacturing toys, and these Chinese workers are working, and they're probably smiling to themselves, saying, hopefully these toys help someone. These babies who are playing with the toys, and then 20 years later, these babies are being sent to war to blow up the people that actually made the toys. But the people are innocent. The Chinese workers, all they want to do is make a good living for themselves. The parents in the United States and the West just want to give their kids the best. How do we end up in these insane wars that
How are ya?
these wars that don't make sense? I guess what I'm saying is these wars are not fought by the people. The people don't want to fight. Like if you talk to the average person, maybe a British soldier 100 years ago, they were just like, oh, you know, won't it be cool to travel the world? They didn't want to get their limbs blown off, you know. Sorry to be so graphic, but this is how it was, you know. So it's like, from the perspective of your country, as a nation, as a political state, it may be justified to go to a war. But the masses, the people, don't want to fight. So I think we just got to remember that, you know, like, and what do we do about that? We as the masses have to say, no, we don't want this. We're well past war and pillaging, and we want to create better lives for people. We want to build buildings. We don't want to blow buildings up. We want to build technology, not use technology to kill and explode things, you know? We want quality of life for everyone, you know? There's more than enough for everyone with better technology and building together rather than tearing apart, you know? So, sounds like a very simple statement, very basic, but our countries, our leaders may sell us a story of why we should go to war on their behalf and lose our family, our lives, everything that we cherish. And look at where that's gotten us, you know, over the last few thousand years. You know, these wars, where has it gotten us, you know? People might say, well, it's very justified, these wars. If we didn't go to those wars, we'd have a much worse world. But can't we just avoid the wars in the first place and have better, like if you have good defenses, usually that will stop wars. If you have good negotiation, that will stop wars. If you have good trading partners, that will stop wars. If you build better technology so there's abundance for all, and water and food and electricity and games and stuff for all, then that stops wars. Yeah. Dash, what would you like to say about these wars, the wars that we fight? Like, we've got to move beyond that, you know? Someone like Dash would have been sent to war, and we're doing it less and less as a species, but it's still happening right now. Yeah, all over the world. The Ukrainians, the Russians, a lot of countries I can't even pronounce their names. Azerbaijan, Armenia, I think. And if you just go into it and go think, okay, these parents that have tried so hard and done everything to, you know, beautifully bring up their kids, and then they're all of a sudden gone. I think we've got to rethink. Yeah, it's like we're, you know, supporting like a soccer team, and instead of just having fun and supporting the team, we're fighting wars for our team, you know, our countries. And the whole thing doesn't make any sense because people, you know, don't really associate with their countries anymore anyway, a lot of people. So how are we going into these wars? How is our government sort of not being good negotiators, not creating peace, not creating good defenses to avoid wars and good trading partners and good technology, and leading us to more and more wars, you know? Like pretty much, you know, bombs haven't gone off in the West yet, but we're pretty much in a World War III already, you know? It doesn't look like it, but we're all at each other's throats right now, you know? Just nothing has blown up in the West. So, and if it does, then we've got to start looking to, you know, do we jump on and subscribe and start going to war? Or do we find an escape plan? Or do we go to a safer country? Or do we go and live in the forest away from the war for a while? Things just get better. Yeah, but these tragedies really should not be happening, you know? And now, this is our view from here. We've got a nice afternoon chilling with the dash. What else do I want to say about these wars? I guess the argument would be, like some people would say, well, if we don't go to these wars, then bad things can happen, worse things can happen, you know? So these people sacrifice themselves so tragedies won't happen. But look at where these worlds, you know, look at the, you know, these wars where they've taken us, you know, like look at World War II. It's like we all just fought, killed each other. You know, all countries, including my country, every country, my nationality, sorry. Everyone fought. Millions of people died. After, you're looking at, you know, rapes, assaults afterwards, you're looking at famine, devastation, you know, you're talking more than 100 million people died, and it wasn't even that long ago. I don't even know how the world bounced back from that. You'd just give up on the world if you saw that much destruction. But somehow we bounced back as a race. And then a generation later, we just acted like nothing even happened. We just started living in each other's countries and everything went back to normal. Like, it doesn't make sense. It feels like we're being tricked as a human, as individual humans. You know, it doesn't make logical sense, like how you could go and kill each other, and then one generation later, we just start living with each other, marrying each other, moving into each other's countries like nothing even happened, you know? So what happened in one generation that was so dramatic? What I'm saying is maybe we have to rethink the way we do things as humanity and go, okay, well, we have to have peace. You know what I mean? If the other side is an aggressor, then we have to increase our defense systems so that the aggressor will be too scared to aggress. You know? Or we have better trading, or we have, you know, abundance for all by having more technology and robotics and, you know, fair assistance for everyone to prosper. And we just have better negotiators, you know, as our government, where our government isn't like, well, at the moment our government's like, well, we're more powerful as a military, so we will go to war. But that option should not even be there, you know? It should be the very, very last thing. Dash is very, what do you say? Your eyes are a bit watery, Dash. What's going on? He does want to play a bit at the moment. So I should put him down and let him play a bit.